Suppose I'm a little late to the 1.20 survival party, but here I am. I've picked out this gorgeous sort of snowy area to build in. Despite the fact that it's getting cold now that it's November, I, unlike many of my fellow Canadians, actually like it when it's cold. Hello. That works. Now, I've decided that I'm gonna try to get as much of this early game grind out of the way as soon as possible, just so I can move on to building immediately. And no, I'm not gonna painstakingly go through every process of gearing up and everything, because that would just be boring. So instead, here's the next 3 hours, condensed into a couple minutes. Alright, there's one last thing to do, and that is to make a nether highway to a desert village about 3,000 blocks away. Oh no. I don't like that. I really underestimated the amount of pickaxes I need for this. Okay, that's fine. Oh, it's on top of this person's house. Oh, there's so much sugarcane here. I need it. Oh my lord, what the hell is this? Oh, jeez. I have no words. I don't think I've ever seen that many mobs in one place. Now, there is also a bamboo forest and a mangrove nearby here as well. They're a little ways out, but that's most of the reason why I came here, aside from eventually I'm gonna grab these villagers and bring them to my base. Now that we have access to all the materials, we're gonna build our starter house, right? Here. It's not too big or anything, but I've got a lot of blocks that aren't exactly too friendly to get. Gonna take a while to grab all the resources, so let's do that very fast. Okay, well, that actually took a while. Here's everything. I'm finally gonna have a house. Yay! A creeper has spawned in my walls. I really should have lit this up a little better, hey. But here it is. So for this build, and probably most future builds, I designed them in creative before bringing them over to my survival world. I use a mod called Litematica, which allows me to just see the entire schematic and build it out layer by layer like you saw in the time-lapse there. When I was designing this in creative, I started with this sort of arch shape at the front here with this window. I wanted to have a wide window to have a really nice view of this lake and mountain up here. And once we get to the interior, you'll be able to see that as well. I kind of went for the sort of stone base here just because I guess probably in real life a lot of building foundations have these like heavier bases and lighter tops. Although I guess the roof is black stone, but ignore that. I went with just a 2-block gradient of this cobbled deep slate and the smooth basalt and these sort of anchor points here into the ground. I used blackstone walls to give it sort of a curved feeling, especially when you look at it from a bit further away. It kind of looks like the house is on stilts with the basement area underneath. As for the walls of the exterior, more gradients. I also added some extra details, but I have the brown and dark gray terracotta. They've got some sort of cool kind of bluish purple undertones, at least especially the gray here does. But on the edges near these pillars and supports here, I added just some extra dark oak logs here to just give it some more variety and not just kind of a two-layer shift, which makes it look a lot nicer in my opinion. And then I just went for green, more cool colors because it's the outside and it's cold. And the blackstone roof ended up being the sort of color that worked out great for this. I just have a blackstone brick on the inside, and then around the border is the regular blackstone. I wanted to have a chimney somewhere, and I kind of decided to put this here before I made any of the interior as well. Sort of an extra detail on the outside, so it wasn't as plain, and there was a little more things breaking up the monotony of the walls being all pretty much the same. I don't know, it's cute, I like it. And these doors, normally I would make doors in a building on this side, but because of the very flat and textured sort of exterior I've done, this ended up really sticking out in a weird way that I didn't like, so I decided to put them against the wall like this, and I just think it looks a lot nicer. But yeah, let's get into the interior here. You will notice that the color scheme is changed quite a bit. It's a lot brighter, warmer rather, and cozier, and that's kind of what I wanted to go for, having the warm colors inside and the cool colors outside. I've used some invisible item frames. You can get those with the armor statues customization data pack, and there's a book you can make, and then you can use the command /trigger if invisible, and then it'll make the closest item frame invisible. These little cupboards here with the chiseled bookshelves. Chiseled bookshelves have become kind of one of my favorite blocks in this new update, just because of the texture on the top and the sides that isn't the actual bookshelf. I used it over here as well to separate this jungle wood floor from this oak wood floor. And I really, really like how they look. I also use them for their intended purpose over here as well. But this little kitchen here, I use some smokers as ovens, some pots as bowls here, these cupboards, these actual barrels, which have nothing in them right now. I kind of imagine this is like some sort of drying rack or something above, just something hanging. Yeah, it's nice. And I love the sort of wallpaper I've got going on here. There's a little fireplace here, which is directly next to the outside chimney sort of area. And it's nothing really super special. I just used bricks instead of like wood to make it feel a little more realistic in that you wouldn't have a fire next to a whole bunch of wood because then the wood would burn. I used mangrove on the walls here just because I really love the color and it works well with the sort of reds and oranges I've been using, as well as this granite and brick sort of base thing I've got going along the bottom. The living room area here, I just got some decorated pots and a cartographer table, because why not? Some books, and this is the comfiest looking stair block I think I could find. These mosaic bamboo stairs. I think they look kind of comfy as a couch. You can just sort of sit here and stare at the wall or look outside. Speaking of outside, this window along with a sort of curved exterior. You can actually see quite a lot, this entire mountain and almost the entire lake as well. Then we'll go up into the attic first, kind of return of this sort of cool colors. It does feel a little bit colder up here, but bedroom, I've got the green bed to go with the green, a little cornflower for some pop of blue, because we haven't seen a lot of blue yet. Speaking of blue, I chose the bluest painting as well. I haven't really decided what to do with this room. There's just like an extra chest in here, which I'll probably end up putting like emergency rockets, elytra, gear if I die in a very perilous position. These item frames, I think I'm eventually going to put like a dragon egg or a dragon head or some sort of monumental achievements in the game, just like rare items, just to sort of have on display. All right, and finally downstairs, this is where I actually do all the things. I've got my storage here, enchanting setup, all of the workstations that I'll ever need, 24 furnaces. They're not automatic or anything. I'll probably make a super smelter in the future. This is really, again, it's just a starter base, even if it's got lots of block variety and detail and stuff. Functionally, it's definitely a starter house. Still going on with the warm colors theme, we've got some yellow down here, which we haven't seen anywhere else yet, but there's still a lot of the darker things because these walls from the outside sort of foundation of the building. That's why I also added some more in the roof, this orange acacia wood here, and some brighter colors in the roof. There's the calcite from the floor in the kitchen, and yeah, I think it's turned out quite well. I'm quite proud of this build. I haven't done a whole lot of interiors in my time, and this is definitely was a lot of fun to design. I'm excited to make a whole bunch more buildings like this. Indeed, I will be making a whole bunch more builds like this. My plan is to sort of fill up this area as like a little village, maybe have a castle in the background or something like that. I haven't really figured that out. That's definitely something out of my comfort zone. But in order to get the rest of this area underway, I do need to do some terraforming. As you can see, this is kind of built into the side of the wall a bit, and I'd like it to not be as much. I think I'm going to have sort of a two-tier sort of hill, where it's going to be much flatter up in this area and then much flatter right down here. Just sort of have a bit of a slope in between those areas and have buildings all along the side. Just sort of this being an open town square, even though it'll definitely be very oval shaped. I might even have like an island in the middle of some buildings where it's split in two and there's two avenues on either side. Alright, I'm realizing I'm probably going to have to do a lot more shoveling than I think. I desperately need to upgrade my tools. But before I do any more mining, I definitely want to get fortune on my pickaxe, which requires me to get some more levels, which requires me to find some sort of level grinder, which I might just be able to do. There is a skeleton spawner very, very close to this mine shaft I've sort of made here, which... Oh, that is not what I meant to do. Huh. There we go. That might make life easier if I don't miss that. Oh, hello. Well, that's very convenient. Kind of nice having a skeleton spawner this low down, because all the mining I'm going to be doing to clear it out might find some more nice, wonderful things. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Oh, wow. Lucky me going the wrong way by accident. That's funny. Ah, there it is. They're all shooting each other. I mean, this is good enough, right? Oh, there's so many. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I quite like that. Oh, hello. Why do they have to make the deep dark so damn spooky? Alright, I'm just gonna drop off all of my items here so I can have plenty of inventory space to clear this area out. Whee! Bet you didn't learn that one in school. Spin. Oh. Oh my. I guess that's not a nice thing about being so low down. Wow. Alright, I just need to collect some soul sand so I can make some bubble elevators. Here I'm using kelp to fill up the whole thing, and I just place one source block at the top, and then when you break the kelp, it turns them all into source blocks so you can ride up freely. It's great. Now we dig another hole 20 blocks down so that the skeletons are at one hit left, and then we'll break all the torches. Yay! Okay, well, it's done. This is probably the saddest, tiniest, most pathetic looking area you've ever seen for a farm like this, but that's fine. It works. Alright, I'm gonna sit here for a bit until I've got enough levels to do some enchanting. Okay, I wasn't recording, but I just got this insanely lucky enchant from just efficiency 4. This is exactly what I needed. Okay, efficiency 4 on breaking 3, and I've got plenty of diamonds to keep it repaired. Let's get to terraforming. Okay, so it's not much yet, but that's about to change. Time to gather more resources. I'm gonna make a wide path in this area, so I'm just grabbing some gravel to make coarse dirt, stripped jungle logs, and packed mud and mud bricks. I'm also grabbing some tough andesite and acacia logs for a more stone-like part of the path. This isn't going to be the full thing, of course, since I will be expanding past this little road here, but it's all I need for now. You can see I used the stripped jungle logs primarily on the outside of the main path, and I added that stone texture as sort of pavement up to the house. Step 1 complete. On to step 2. Next, I'm going to be filling in all the grassy areas with snowbanks, and I'll also be making a fence next to the cliff. As much as I do like the nice green texture of the grass here, it doesn't really make too much sense, as during winter usually the grass is pretty brown and dead and buried under snow and all flat and gross, so I'm covering that up with snowbanks. Alright, we've added a little bit of a fence here now, and these lamp posts. I use this light gray stained glass to bring the wall out a little bit, just so it looks like it's a little more connected there. I also have these little mounds of snow here and just some little pile-ups of snow that are off the path. I added some extra blocks here to give it a little more variety and texture, because, at least in real life, a lot of the snow doesn't look pristine, pearly white. But there's one last thing to add, and that's, of course, trees. I designed a couple of custom spruce trees in my creative world that I can just add in wherever, and I can rotate them so that they don't all look the same. And there we go. I think it's turned out really nice and cozy now, instead of just this house that's sticking out. It's such a funny thing that you can literally just fix any sort of framing of a build by just adding some trees. But yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end it off here. I've done quite a bit in this first episode. I'm excited to keep going. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, enjoy this bonus clip of me getting blown up by a creeper the first time I sleep in a bed. Whew.